The more we become aware of these opportunities and move into them, the easier it becomes to anchor love into our reality as a way of life. It is important to realize that though we were taught otherwise, real love does not have any conditions placed around it. It also does not indicate weakness. It is time to become aware of belief systems that are simply mind-based structures that distract us. They move us away from our true nature, which is based on real love. A love that does not judge, and does not cause us or another pain or hardship. A love that does not require us to give up or hide some part of ourselves. True love is an unwavering frequency that flows through all of life. Choosing to be and embody love means that we immediately align with this constant flow. In that moment, all the resistance we have to life fades away, so that everything in our life flows much more easily. Our higher self, the power of love. Because we have so many misconceptions about what power really is, many of us have hesitated to reclaim our own innate power. We tend to associate it with misused power, the kind that is corrupt or controlling. An ego-based use of power is usually a sort of misdirected creativity, a false form the mind created after losing connection to its higher self. It's a form of self-protection that comes from forgetting that we don't need to be controlling outwardly. We are always safe and provided for, on a higher level. But in this new and exciting era we are now in, we are collectively remembering the truth of how powerful our higher selves really are. This is a powerful awakening, and one that is allowing us to fully reclaim our true and authentic power, which is interested purely in serving our and everyone's higher good. In this time when so many are ascending into the fifth dimension, we are rising out of the lower dimensional energies of duality, judgment, and narrow-mindedness. This is freeing us to move out of the illusions of the false outer power we have been shown for so long, and into the true power of our real inner nature, and that is based on the power of love. Untangling ourselves from victim consciousness. If there was ever a time to release the victim archetypes that we as human beings have identified with for so long, it is now. We can of course honor these archetypes for working to keep us safe and protected for thousands of years. As our minds looked out onto a dangerous world, they concentrated purely on survival. But we now know that a world built mainly upon the idea of survival is not a world in alignment with who we are at our core, divine beings, carrying love as our highest purpose. As divine love beings, we are here to do far more than survive. We now seek to thrive, and to love ourselves and the world around us, affirming that we are constantly safe and protected, even though our survival-based minds may try to tell us otherwise. So now, as we release the victim role, we can joyfully welcome in our higher self. Releasing victim consciousness means taking on board several empowering ideas, even if they seem to go against the grain at times. The first step is to accept every person, every experience, and every outer situation that comes to us, without trying to change it. We don't have to agree with everything and everyone we meet. We just need to release the need to let outer conditions and our reactions to them define who we are. Through acceptance, we also release the need to dwell on the past, and what may have been. The second powerful step toward releasing victim consciousness is to release the need to blame. We tend to feel the need to blame when something goes wrong, because we have been taught that there is always something or someone outside of ourselves who is right or wrong or good or bad, someone or something that is responsible for our experiences. We are at a place now where we know that this cannot be true. And that blaming another always leads us away from the peace of our higher self. When you think everything is someone else's fault, you will suffer a lot. When you realize that everything springs only from yourself, you will learn both peace and joy. Dalai Lama: we know now that we are the creators of all our experiences. We can release the need to judge, simply by realizing that as we operate from our higher selves, we acknowledge ourselves as creator of all we are and all we experience. When we act or feel like our higher selves, we do only what feels to be in alignment with our high heart, releasing what doesn't. Blaming ourselves or others holds us back from connecting with our highest, most divine self. The third step to releasing the victim role is to take full responsibility for our lives and well-being. The victim mindset won't necessarily approve of this new behavior. It may well resist when it hears that we are responsible for our lives and well-being. It senses that it is losing its job. and that it can no longer take comfort in separating itself, supported by the illusion that whatever we need has to come to us from outside ourselves. It is natural to feel that resistance. But as we take responsibility for our lives and our well-being, we actively move out of victim consciousness, and into creator consciousness. Living from our creator consciousness, we can move mountains. At that moment, as we are reclaiming our true inner power, we can manifest from the most authentic and powerful aspect of ourselves. Taking these 3 steps actively supports our transition from victim consciousness to creator consciousness. As we move forward in creator consciousness, we remember that at our core, we have always been love itself. This is what's happening right now. We're remembering that we have much more in common than we realize, because we are a human family. And the illusions of separation through race, gender, roles, job titles, class systems, structures, religions, and sexual orientations, are being highlighted and polarized at this time so as to be healed, addressed, and resolved once and for all. Love is awakening and healing the consciousness of humanity, no matter how it may appear on the surface. Love has always been here, and now it's taking center stage, ushering us into a completely different era. Until next time, with gratitude.